Hello friends, I'm Beatriz, your host here on Beatriz Book Nook, and today we are going to be talking about my favorite books of the year. 2024 was not a year where I gave a lot of 5 stars. I actually feel like I was not throwing them out just because, like I normally do in other years, but I just want to shout out the favorite books that I had, the ones that I think deserve honorable mentions. So this is a list of 10 books because those are the 10 ones that I think deserve the mention on this video and the shout out for it. So without any further ado, let me start first with the actual books that I don't have physically because I read them on either my e-reader or on audio. The first book is going to be Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I finally read Caravel for the first time this year, and what an amazing journey I had. I don't think it was a 5-star read, but it was very close to it, and that is why it's going on here. I loved the characters, I loved the story of the book. I think for what it is, for the time that it was written, I think it deserves every hype that it's talked about for this series. I do think it's a really nice book. I think the main characters are interesting, and I also thought that, especially for me, the circus vibes was the thing that caught me up and that I honestly just sucked everything in with those vibes because I really enjoy them. I don't like normally circus where there is a lot of clowns and things like that, but I do enjoy fantastical circus just like Caravel or even the night circus. That is where I know I have a lot of fun, and that is something that I want to delve more into the year. I also have a goal of finishing, or at least trying to read more of Stephanie Garber books during this year of 2025. So let's see how that goes. The second book that I want to shout out, and it was because that book, it's still to today in my mind and I cannot forget it. It's here, always here, and it's going to be The September House by Carissa Orlando, if I'm not wrong. That book, guys, that book has me on a chokehold. I still have to get my physical copy of it because it was so good. I devoured it. I could not put it down. I think the psychological slash horror aspect of the book was very interesting. I really like those vibes on horror books. That is what brings me more into them, where like it's there but it's not there in a way. I really enjoy that, and mainly I do enjoy the setting, especially the setting of the house, it being haunted, and we knowing when everything happened, we knowing the past of the characters that are haunting the house, and especially trying to figure out why is that character still haunting that house, and in the end everything going away and the house being left. I really do believe that this was an amazing book, and I cannot wait to have my physical copy because I really want it in my collection of horror books. So putting the ones that I don't have aside, let's now talk about the ones that I have. I read this book in June during the Amazing Readathon. I thought it was going to be my month-long project. It ended up not being a month-long project because I simply devoured this. I could not put it down. I was having so much fun reading Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. In this book we are following Nesta, and this is her book and her journey into finally accepting what is happening to her, accepting how her life has changed. She's no longer a human, but she's also a fae, accepting her powers and accepting what she has become, and not only that, but proving to Farah and Rysand that she is and deserves to be there, but not only proving to them, but proving to herself what she's going through. It's okay that she's feeling that way, and that she is basically going through a grieving process, which is normal during things that happen when on similar occasions that Nesta had. Why did I give this book 5 stars? I am going to be honest. I gave this book 5 stars mainly because of the lore of the book. I really enjoyed knowing more about the Valkyries. I really enjoyed knowing more about the Illyrians. I also really enjoyed a little the small little part that we had of the Illyrian tryout or thing that they do for them to become Illyrian warriors. I really enjoyed that. That was one of the things that captivated me most. And not only that, but also seeing Nesta training to be a Valkyrie with the help of Cassian and Azriel, and also seeing her empowering other women in doing so. I think that was what made me give this book a 5 star. Not the book itself, because I do believe that this is an okay book, but that lore, that empowerment that Nesta was able to bring to others, and not only to others but to herself, while she was also grieving and finding her way into life. I think that is why I gave this book 5 stars. And the vibes, honestly, this book is full of vibes, but it could be a little bit shorter. Honestly, I could have done good with half of it. Let's talk about the next one. And this is a surprise even to me, guys. I never thought that a romance book would make this list because, as you probably know, I'm not in my romance era, but a romance book did make this list. That was The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. Honestly, this is my first experience with Lynn Painter and it was immaculate. I really enjoyed The Do-Over. I don't know if it is the aspect that it is a romance book with fantastical elements where she's living her life. Emily is reliving her life every single day, every time, or the same day every day. And I don't know what it was, but I just found it cute. I find it funny, and it was a book that I sped through. It was very easy for me to read without any troubles, and I just fell in love with the characters and their romance. It's very teenagey. It's very coming of age, not really coming of age, but it's very YA. And I don't mind. I actually think I enjoyed it a lot more because there was no smut scenes and nothing like that make this book what it didn't need to be. So I really enjoyed this. I think I had a really nice time when I read it. I know I had a really nice time when I read it, and honestly sometimes I do think of rereading it because I want the giggles and the fun that this book brought to me. If we are going in order, let's then talk about Welcome to the Yeonamdang bookstore by Wang Boram. You know how much I love this book. This is maybe my favorite book of the year, and due to the fact that I just connected to it in some really deeper way that I was not expecting I was going to. But in this book we are following our main character, which is Youngju. Youngju basically decides that her life is not fulfilling her anymore, and she starts basically from the zero once more. She opens up her bookstore, which has been a dream of hers since she was little, and then she goes through the hardships of being a new business owner, being a small business owner, and then trying to understand that she doesn't only have to do, or that she cannot do only the things that she wants to do, that she needs for her business to go bigger and be of a bigger impact. She also needs to do things that will appeal to other people. I found this book very interesting because we are not only following Youngju, but we also following all of our other characters that go to the Yeonamdang bookstore, and we are finding also their ways into living, their passions, them being struggling without finding their purpose, them being taking a gap year because work was getting too much and they are getting burned out. This book just simply resonated with me a lot, and it's making me emotional of me thinking of all of the hardships that I was going through when I read this, and honestly I think this book came in the best time that it could, because definitely made me think and realize that it is okay to one day feel like you might think you are in the right place but you are actually not, and to find something that fulfills you a lot more in life. This is not the only Korean author that I have in here. Let me go get up the other one. Because 2024 was the year of where I read Korean authors and found that maybe I am finding my niche, and I might delve into this a little bit more. But the next book that I have is going to be The Delegate Dream Department Store by Mie Lee. This is also one of my favorite books of the year. This was amazing, it was fantastical, it was dreaming, and it was very, very, very emotional also. In this book we are following Penny. Penny basically starts the book where she is unemployed, but she's going to go onto a job interview onto the Delegate Dream Department Store, because it has been a dream of her to work in the dream department store since she has been little, and she's able to get the job in a way that I found very interesting. But we then follow Penny and her journey to learning everything about dreams, to knowing everything about what the dream making industry is. And there are moments where I was with a lot of tears in my eyes, because there are sad moments, and if you put puppies and if you put doggos in a book and sad situations, I might start crying. There was a moment in this, but then also not only that, but there are sad moments in this book. There are dreams that certain customers go there and request for delegates to create, because they are dreams that they want to share with other people because they are going to pass away. So they are dreams just to let other people know that they are okay, and this is their last goal to them. There are other dreams that are pet related dreams, that, as I have explained, there are also what we call deja vus. They have another name, which is I don't remember. There are also precognitive dreams. There are a bunch of dreams, and this book really explains it in so much depth that I could not put it down. And I think Mia Lee did a really amazing job into showing and developing this world around dreams. And I have never thought of this concept, but I do really believe that it was amazingly developed, and it is so good. And if you want a recommendation from me from this video, honestly, either welcome to the Onamdang bookshop if you are facing some hardships in life where you do believe that you are not at the right place, but if you want something that will give you emotions and that will give you a little bit of that warm, cozy vibe, the Dream Department Store is definitely the one to go. Let me go from one extreme to the other. The next book that I found, it was one of my favorite books of the year, is Does My Body Offend You by Mara Cuevas and Marie Marquardart. This book is here not because of the content of the book. Well, it's here just because of the content of the book. I do believe this is a book that is very important in nowadays, and exactly like the title says, it talks about how the feminine body does offend a lot of people and how it shouldn't. So basically in this one, what happens is that our main character, she is Latino American, and she's living in America currently with her family because of the big rains, the big storms. I don't fully remember it, what happened. And basically one day she really burns her back like a sunburn, and she goes to school without a bra because her mom says everything is going to be fine, you don't have anything to worry. Well, everything was not fine, because she then gets not expelled, but she gets in trouble because she is on the bigger chest side, and not everyone, but some of the professors decide that they feel uncomfortable with her not wearing a bra. And basically this is where the book starts. This is how everything develops into the way that this book develops. Then they start not a petition, but they start a, how can I say it? They basically, our main characters, they do a riot kind of thing with school. They go into also the council of school to basically try to make the dress code not as bad for girls. So this book revolves about that, how this girl was, which I don't remember her name, Malina, how Malina was into school and she felt very, like, not dishonest, but she basically felt like that she was only being viewed by the body that she has instead of how she was. And then we have Ruby that joins her and shows her that that is not okay for them to do what they did to her, and that she should do something, and basically that something goes, and a lot of things happen in the book. But why this is my favorite book, or one of my top favorite books of the year, this deserves the shout out, because I think every little girl that is now going to high school and finishing middle school, I think they should read this book, because this is an amazing example of how we can and shouldn't let other people say how we should and shouldn't dress, and how our bodies should and shouldn't feel to us. So this is a very example of one book that is here because of its message, and not because, I don't know, just felt like it. The next book is going to be The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love this book. I think this is a book that everyone should read, especially because it is a historical book and depicts how LGBTQIA plus were represented in history. So I think that this is amazing, and it shows definitely how Evelyn Hugo had to go through hardships just to show that she was indeed capable, and that she was more than just a pretty face. But honestly, there is a lot to this book. I feel like I don't know how to explain books that I loved, that I have read at the beginning of the year, but this was one that I loved. The ending was sad, it made me cry. The middle of the book, I was always not wanting to put it down. I wanted to keep going, I wanted to keep reading, because this book just grabs you with Evelyn Hugo's story, and then at a point you do understand why she had to have seven husbands. All of them served her a purpose, not the other way around, and I really think that this was amazingly done. It is top tier, and if I could reread it once again and read it for the first time once more, I would, because this is so good. Our next and last book without our honorable mention is going to be The Ryan Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I love this book. I love the concept of it. I love the fantastical aspect. I have not read the second one because I am afraid that that will disappoint me, but I will have to read it soon. But The Divine Rivals is here. It has everything that I like: war setting, god setting, fantastical elements where I really loved. Also, not really enemies to lovers, but disliking to lovers in some sort of way. Also, everything in it was amazing. The historical aspects of it, of the wars, I don't know, I cannot put it out. I think it's not for everyone, but for me, this just served its right purpose at the right time. It was amazing. It brought me joy. It brought me all of the emotions, and I could not put it down. So that is why it is in here, and I am so afraid of reading the second one because I don't want to be disappointed. Now, let me grab our honorable mention. Hi, I'm back. Our honorable mention is going to be A Gathering of Shadows by V. Schwab. This is an honorable mention because I loved the book, I loved the concept, and I loved everything that this book portrays, but the first book is still a little bit better for me, and I think that if I wouldn't mind if this was not in here. So that is why this is just an honorable mention. I love this book. Without giving too much details, it has a lot of the things that I enjoy. It has elemental magic, it has trials, it has our main characters doing things that they shouldn't. So that is why this is also one of my favorite books of the year, but not quite there. So yeah, I don't know. And that is all that I have for today's video, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I'm quite late to it, but well, better late than never, right? So this is all. Let me know in the comments also what was your favorite book of the year, if you had any favorite book just like mine that brought you joy, that brought you, well, they are favorite books, so obviously they bring you joy, but the reason why it is your favorite book of the year, why did it bring you so much joy, and or if it was just for vibes. So if not, if you don't want to talk, please just leave me some sort of emoji, maybe a book stack emoji. I don't know, I feel like a book stack emoji for this video could work quite well. So yeah, friends, thank you so much for being here with me on this adventure and for ending 2024 with me. Without further ado, I'll leave you all to go on to your lives. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night or evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all on my next video. So until then, bye, friends.